Peace. So today I wanted to build about the phrase, knowledge is the foundation. And I wanted to give a little bit of clarity on that because I think sometimes we may take that for granted or misinterpret what it actually means. So knowledge is the foundation. It doesn't mean just taking a bunch of information that you standing on and that's how you're basing your decisions and navigating life. It also doesn't mean being a know-it-all and knowing a bunch of different things, and that is the basis upon how you navigate life and attend the world. It's a little deeper than that, because when you think about a foundation, the foundation is the portion of any structure that's load bearing, which means when something's load bearing, it supports the weight of the entire structure. And when you're looking at any building, whether it's commercial, residential, you usually don't see the foundation because the foundation is built beneath the surface. It's underground. And the typical standard for a foundation is about 1.5 feet beneath the ground or beneath the surface. So what does that mean? Well, when you're looking at a building or a structure, you don't see the foundation. You see indicators or evidence of that foundation. If that structure is leaning to this side or that side, or the basement or something is flooding all the time, or you have other different complications, those complications or the way in which that structure sits gives you insight into that foundation, and what needs to be addressed in terms of that foundation. People are the exact same way. You can look at a person, you may not know what their foundation is or what they're standing on, but you can see some indicators or evidence of that foundation because it's beneath the surface. And when it comes to knowledge of self or learning and being on this journey, being able to investigate what is beneath the surface is something that is important in terms of relationship building. So in other words, getting at and investigating and learning about a person's foundation is not about just giving somebody information. Saying, here's the supreme mathematics, you need to just learn these. Or here's lessons, you need to memorize this. Or here's nation history, and you got people regurgitating something that you handed them. That's not addressing the foundation. The foundation, again, is beneath the surface. And in order for you to learn what's beneath the surface, you got to build relationships with people. You got to find out, like, who were they raised by? What were the relationship with their parents? What were their parents' relationship with each other? Do you have siblings? What birth order are you in with those siblings? What's your relationship with those siblings today? What type of community did you grow up in? What was your academic experience? Did you struggle academically? What challenges did you actually have? Were they social challenges? Or did you have difficulty with specific subjects? Do you have a criminal background? Were they misdemeanors or felonies? What type of crimes were they? Are you still on paper? What is your medical history? You know, have you been hospitalized or anything like that? Are you on medication? Do you need to be on some type of medication? What was your experience with drugs or alcohol or relationships? Those and many, many other questions are important foundational questions to learn about people in order for you to find out why they are leaning the way that they are in life. What are some of the things that you need to address or reach them where they are in order to help them shore up that foundation so that it's going to be load bearing? It's going to be able to support the weight of the entire structure of knowledge now that you're going to be building with them upon. Because just giving them information, that's not really addressing what's beneath the surface. You need to get to know people. And that journey of relationship building and get to know people is critical to them having the proper foundation in order to build upon something. And a lot of times when a person doesn't take that approach, that is why you may see some dysfunctions, not just amongst the 5%, but any kind of culture or even any kind of religion. Somebody may just came along and said they're interested in learning, and somebody feeling zealous about teaching them was just handing them information, and now all they did was just renovate or make that structure that was already leaning a certain way decorative. It was just cosmetic. But that structure still ain't sound because the foundation is not sure, it doesn't have integrity, and it doesn't have fortitude. So in other words, a person just took that information and just superimposed it over the issues that they've already had. If this is a dude that has already had a history of domestic violence or a very misogynistic perspective towards women, you just gave them information to superimpose over those issues that you never even addressed or knew about because you didn't build a relationship with this person. If it's a woman that has had a history of sexual abuse or a lot of other different things and you've never really got to know her on that level, but you just gave her information telling her that she's the earth or she's the queen, but you never really address what's beneath the surface, you're going to still see that expressed or indicators of that foundation, regardless if she's wrapping her hair up or dressing in 3/4 or not. It's the same thing with people going in churches or mosques or synagogues or whatever. In those religions, if a person isn't getting the foundational work, then whatever they're getting on top of that is just decorative. It's just cosmetic. So knowledge is the foundation, is really the process of investing in what that person has established as their core beliefs or their principles and values, the things that have represented their foundation all the way up until this point of meeting you. And in order for you to find out what that is, you got to go beneath the surface. You got to build a relationship and find out about what are the makings of this person. Why are they leaning this way or that way when it comes to certain perspectives in life? You got to investigate the foundation. And again, that foundation is beneath the surface. It's underground. Before you even give them anything or build with them on anything, you need to get to know who people actually are. Because that foundation is the portion of their life which is going to be load bearing or is going to support anything else that you give them from that point forward. So this was inspiring, it was empowering, and it was educational in terms of that phrase, knowledge is the foundation. And just letting you know that it's not just about handing a person something. It's about really giving them a hand up by learning about who they actually are and where you can meet them where they are. Peace.